What if the one person you trusted most rewrote your story to make you a monster? My name is Ethan, and at 16, I learned the hard way that truth can be more fragile than lies. My dad, the man who taught me how to ride a bike and cheer at my soccer games, turned me into a villain in the eyes of his new wife, Claire. She feared me enough to throw me out of the only home I'd ever known. But this isn't just a story about betrayal. It's about finding light in the wreckage, about piecing yourself back together when the world decides you're broken. It started 2 years ago after Mom died. Cancer took her fast, leaving Dad and me rattling around in a house too big for our grief. He was lost without her, and I was just a kid trying to hold on to something steady. Then Claire came along. She was all sharp edges and forced smiles, a woman who wanted to rebuild Dad's life, but didn't know where I fit in. I didn't mind her at first. I wanted Dad to be happy again. But something was off. Claire watched me like I was a stray dog, unpredictable and dangerous. I didn't know why until the night everything fell apart. Dad had been distant for months, working late, avoiding my eyes. I thought it was just his way of coping. Then one evening, I overheard him talking to Claire in the kitchen. His voice was low, urgent, spinning a story I didn't recognize. "Ethan's been trouble since his mom passed," he said. "He's angry, reckless. I caught him stealing from my wallet last week. I don't know what he's capable of." My heart stopped. Stealing? I never touched his money. I stood frozen in the hallway, listening as he painted me as some delinquent, a threat to their new life. Claire's voice trembled as she responded, "We can't have that here, Mark. Not with the baby coming." The baby. That was the first I'd heard of it. Claire was pregnant, and Dad was rewriting my story to protect his new family. I wanted to barge in, to scream that he was lying, but my feet wouldn't move. Instead, I slipped back to my room, my chest tight with betrayal. Why would he do this? Was I that easy to erase? The next morning, Claire confronted me. Her face was pale, her hands clutching a mug like a shield. "Ethan, we need to talk," she said, her voice cold. "Your father told me everything. I can't have someone I don't trust around my child." I tried to explain, to tell her I wasn't the person Dad described, but her eyes were already made up. "You need to leave," she said. "Tonight." Dad stood behind her, silent, his gaze fixed on the floor. He didn't defend me. He didn't even look at me. By sundown, I was gone, my life stuffed into a backpack. The house I'd grown up in, with its creaky stairs and Mom's old garden, was no longer mine. I wandered the streets, the city lights blurring through tears I refused to let fall. I ended up at a diner, the kind with sticky tables and waitresses who call you hon. I had enough cash for a coffee and a slice of pie, but no plan. I was 16, homeless, and branded a liar by the person I loved most. That's when I met Lena. She was the waitress who served me, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes and a smoker's rasp. She noticed my backpack and the way I kept glancing at the door like I expected someone to come for me. "You okay, kid?" she asked, sliding into the booth across from me. I didn't want to talk, but something about her made it easy. I told her everything: Mom's death, Dad's lies, Claire's fear. Lena listened, her face softening with every word. When I finished, she leaned back and said, "Sounds like you need a place to crash. My couch isn't much, but it's yours for a few nights." I didn't know it then, but Lena was the twist I didn't see coming. She wasn't just a waitress. She was a former social worker who'd burned out, but never stopped caring. Over the next few days, she helped me navigate my option shelters, youth programs, even legal advice about emancipation. But more than that, she gave me something I hadn't had since Mom died: someone who believed me. Lena didn't see a troubled kid. She saw a boy who'd been betrayed, and she refused to let me become another statistic. Still, the hurt gnawed at me. I couldn't stop thinking about Dad. Why had he lied? Was it shame, fear, or something darker? I needed answers, so one night I went back to the house. I didn't plan to stay. I just wanted to see him, to make him explain. I knocked, and Claire answered, her eyes wide with fear. "You can't be here," she whispered, glancing over her shoulder. But Dad appeared behind her, and for the first time in weeks, he looked at me. His face was a mix of guilt and exhaustion. "Ethan," he started, but I cut him off. "Why did you lie?" My voice cracked, betraying the anger I tried to bury. "You told her I was a thief, a danger." "Why?" Claire's gaze darted between us, her fear shifting to confusion. Dad's shoulders slumped. "I thought it would be easier," he said finally. "Claire was worried about you being around the baby. I didn't know how to tell her you were a good kid. I panicked." Easier. The word hit like a slap. He'd throw me away to make his life easier. But then Claire spoke, her voice softer now. "You didn't steal anything, did you?" I shook my head, and something in her expression changed. "Mark, you should have told me the truth," she said, turning to him. "He's your son." For the first time, I saw her not as the enemy, but as someone caught in Dad's lies just like me. They invited me inside, but I couldn't stay. The house felt like a stranger's now. I told Dad I needed time, and he nodded, tears in his eyes. Claire apologized, her voice thick with regret. "I didn't know," she said. "I was scared, but I was wrong. I wanted to hate her, but I couldn't. She'd been fed a lie, just like I'd been fed promises that broke." I went back to Lena's, and over the next few months, she became my anchor. She helped me enroll in a new school, find a part-time job, and start rebuilding. Dad and I talked sometimes, but it was slow, fragile. He was trying to make things right, but trust is hard to mend. Claire reached out too, offering to help, but I wasn't ready to let her in. Not yet. Looking back, I realized this story isn't just about losing a home. It's about finding one in unexpected places: Lena's couch, a stranger's kindness, my own stubborn heart. Dad's lie broke something in me, but it also showed me I was stronger than I thought. I'm still figuring out who I am without the family I once knew, but I'm not alone. And maybe that's the real truth. Even when the people you love let you down, there's always someone, somewhere, ready to lift you up. You just have to keep walking until you find them.